It's Friday Coffee with your mortgage man, Aaron. And today we're going to talk about the wave of foreclosures that's coming, man. This wave, dude, foreclosures are coming, man. You better run for the hills, man. Let's talk about that, right? And look, I get it. There's no wave of foreclosures coming. Why? Let's talk about it. Let's dive into that topic. And I get it. I understand the human psyche, right? I would not want to be a person looking for a home to buy or rent right now when everything is escalating. The things that you looked at last week, last month, now everything's higher, and that keeps happening. You're like, dude, there's no end in sight. This has got to pop. This has got to stop. Like, it can only go so high. What goes up must come down. It's all cyclical. Well, I'm telling you, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news if you haven't heard it already. There's no indication in sight that this is going to stop anytime soon or level out. And here is why we say that. And I'm not the only one. Every guru around is looking at the same numbers and giving this same news that I'm giving. But I hear this every day, people kind of justifying why they don't want to be in the race to buy a home or whatever at this moment, right? And so let's dive into it. The U.S. CARES Act, the pandemic happened. We passed the U.S. CARES Act, which allowed homeowners to be involved in this forbearance program, which was just kicking the can down the road and allowing them to not make their mortgage payments for up to 6 months. And now that has been extended. The current administration extended it again, surprisingly. We didn't think they would. They probably shouldn't. We could argue about that till the cows come home. And so now that puts it into the third or fourth quarter of this year that we might see this wave of foreclosures. I mean, all these people, right, that got into this forbearance program, man, they're going to foreclose, right? I mean, it's coming. It has to happen. No. As a matter of fact, statistically speaking, there's only about a third of them left that are still in forbearance. So think about that. 2/3 are gone. 2/3 of the people that signed up for the forbearance program have come out, have reinstated, refinanced out at some capacity. They're gone. Third is left. It's about 2.2 million homeowners. Let's do the math. 2.2 million homeowners that are left in the forbearance program. So now, if every single one of those homeowners were to foreclose, which is not going to happen, they're going to keep continuing to come out of foreclosure, they're going to refinance, or they're going to sell their home, because let's face it, your home a year ago to where it is now, it's worth another $100,000. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is. So at the very least, you could sell a home and walk away with some profit. The bank isn't going to need to be foreclosing on very many properties because everybody's home value is going up. So think about that in itself. So, but let's say that 2.2 million homeowners are going to foreclose, that's not impossible. But let's say it happens. And compare it to the recession. The subprime era, 03 to 05, followed up with the recession in 08, 09, 2010. There were 6.3 million and some change foreclosures that happened in the recession. 6.3 million foreclosures. So you see where I'm at already. We're at 2.2. That was 11 years ago. More people in this country, more homeowners at this point, and we know that 2.2 is not going to be the case. So we're in far better shape in that regard. Also, some of those homeowners, the $6.3 million homeowners that foreclosed, were strategic foreclosures because, everybody became an investor back in those days. Remember, if you're not old enough, that's fine. Explain it to you. The loan programs back in those days were crazy. If you fogged a mirror, you could get a loan. We didn't verify a lot of things like income, the ability to repay your mortgage payment. Oh, what a concept, right? I get it. So you had people that were in negative AM, exotic loan programs, and things of that nature, and they just couldn't make the mortgage payment. And in reality, in today's world, in today's mortgage industry, dude, look, some people will tell you We ask for all this stuff, and we ask for it again, and we're re-verifying again and again. Look, so there's a plus side to that and a downside of that, right? You as a home buyer or somebody that's refinancing could get frustrated with the process, right? Why are you asking for that? Why are you asking for that again? Why do you need another updated pay stub, right? But the flip side of that coin is, look, these loans are the cleanest loans we've ever written in U.S. mortgage history. There's that. So it's highly likely that not $2.2 million, 2.2 million homeowners are going to be foreclosing. Going to be a percentage, probably a small percentage of that. And the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, are trying to push a bill that would kick the foreclosure process off until 2022 sometime. Yeah. So there's that. If that bill gets passed, think about that. Nobody's getting foreclosed on this year. Kicking the can down the road again. Now look, there's a double side of this coin. Well, that's great. We're not going to foreclose on people. We're not going to kick people out of their homes onto the streets, per se. The downside of that, the flip side of that coin is the market needs inventory. If you're a homeowner, you're experiencing, or home buyer, you're experiencing this. There's no inventory. We need inventory. The market needs inventory. It just does. And if you're not allowing the inventory to come to market, that's a problem. So it's a double-sided problem. Understand that. Also, a lot of people don't think about this. The news certainly doesn't talk about this. Just because you're not making your mortgage payment and your forbearance, guess what? Somebody is. Somebody's making your mortgage payment for you. Understand that. There's a note on that loan, on your home. Somebody has to be making those mortgage payments. And that's one of the reasons why interest rates are a little higher than they should be right now. They have placed the lenders, the banks, the investors, the servicers, the note holders, the aggregators have placed this tax, if you will, into the interest rates because they know somebody's stuck holding the bag, if you will. Somebody has to make those payments. So guess what? Guess who's really making the payments? Homeowners that are getting refinanced right now and home buyers. It's the tax, if you will, is placed in the interest rates. They have increased the interest rates to take care of or to mitigate the expenses that those that have to make the mortgage payments for people that are not making the mortgage payments. So think about that. The industry is hurting a bit, and we could be offering lower interest rates to people that are refinancing and buying a home if the industry was not strong-armed into the forbearance. See, there's a double side of this coin. I'm not saying one's better than the other or whatever. I'm not saying that. But yes, we do need to keep people in their homes, right? But when you haven't made a mortgage payment in 18 months, 12 months, 14 months, 18 months, that's not fair. It's just what it is. Things need to happen. You have to let the dust settle. There's someone out there that can move into that home and make the payments on that home loan. So there's that. So the wave of foreclosures it's not happening. It's not coming. There would have to be so many other detrimental things that happen. And look, one of the ways that you can monitor this is look at the demand and the surplus, the supply. Right now in the Phoenix area, we're dealing with 2 weeks of inventory. Not too much, 2 weeks. 2 weeks of inventory. If we started getting back to 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, maybe we have a conversation then. Maybe it's a valid conversation, but in reality, it's 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. It is still a healthy market. So there's that. So 2 weeks. Monitor the supply on the market if you'd like to. And that's why I'm saying, and that's why all the gurus are saying, there's no end in sight. There's too many people that need homes, that need places to live. And look, the builders just haven't been building for a number of reasons. Look, I could spend 20 minutes on that. The builders over the last 10 years have not been building the amount of homes that they should have been building. There's no place to build. There's no infrastructure. There's no water. There's no way to get electricity. There's no acquisition and development in certain areas because of environmental protection in certain areas, and you can't go there because of that mountain that's protected and that land's protected, right? There's a plethora of reasons why builders can't build. There's nowhere to go. We need builders building more homes, but in order to do that, we need infrastructure, we need water, we need all these things, right? So, like I said, we could go 20 minutes down that rabbit hole, but the premise of this video is there's no indication of a wave of foreclosures that's happening. As a matter of fact, it doesn't now look like we're going to see any foreclosures until 2022. And look, the CFPB have also shot missiles across the stern at investors, banks, lenders, servicers, and said, when the forbearance program is officially lifted in third or fourth quarter of this year, y'all better be doing everything you possibly can to allow that homeowner to get caught up or to loan modify them or to put them on a probationary period or lower their interest rate. That's really fair, right? Lower their interest rate for an amount of time, right? They've already made that warning. You better be careful. You better walk on eggshells when the time comes. When you can legally, again, foreclose on people that aren't making their mortgage payment. Like I said, there's double side of the coin here. But premise of this video, there's no wave, man. Find another wave. Go on vacation. Hawaii, Florida, California, wherever. And ride that wave. With that said, it's Friday calling your mortgage man, Eric, baby. 602-757-2171. We'll see you.